Hey, what's going on, everybody? Real Sports Updates here, back again. Another video. You see the thumbnail. The Los Angeles Chargers got their asses whooped today in Baltimore. It was just a bad game. Just a bad game from every aspect. No matter how you look at it, offense, defense, special teams. It was just a bad effort on everybody's part. Coaching staff. Everybody has some blame in this. And as a Charger fan, I understand that you know th- this is going to be a tough road going ahead. For a young team, first time head coach, but this was a very bad loss. I mean, not so much a bad loss, but the performance was not great at all. And not to make excuses or anything, but you're looking at a team coming from the West Coast. Early 10 o'clock game in Baltimore. On the other side of the country. So I expected the Chargers to not be as sharp as normal, but I didn't expect them to get blown out, but they did. Lamar Jackson, he was good. He didn't have to be special. The Baltimore defense really took a big step going forward. And I think this is more. The Chargers obviously didn't play well, but I think this is more about Baltimore really becoming a team to be reckoned with in the AFC. All week the talk has been about the Bills and the Chargers, who's the best in the AFC. Nobody ever said anything about the Ravens, and they should, because the Ravens are really good. They are fantastic. They do a lot of things well on offense, and their defense. That was really the only thing that they were kind of waiting for. They're kind of waiting for the defense to come along, and they look like they took a big step forward. Especially coming off that Monday night game against the Colts last week. When they didn't really play particularly well. Especially in the first half, but the defense is coming along. They're able to get pressure at a high level, and they're playing well in the back end. I think that's the defensive backfield for the Ravens is probably one of the most underrated groups. Chuck Clark is a really good safety. Marlon Humphrey is one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and even their second corner, Averett, he's pretty good too. He didn't have a good week last week, but he's pretty good. They play pretty sound defense. Especially for the way that they like to play. And their aggressive style of defense. They bring a lot of pressure, put a lot of pressure on opposing offensive lines and stuff, and so it's up to them to really communicate well in the back end, and they do. They did a good job of it, and they're getting better. So I think the conversation going forward, it shouldn't be about whether it's the Chargers and the Bills. I think it's the Ravens and the Bills about who's the best. Especially when you have Lamar. Lamar was good today, but he didn't have to be a Superman. And I think that's I always talk about that all the time. Who can play boring football, who can't. And not that Lamar is ever boring, but he did play a more boring style of football today. But that's all he needed to do. He didn't need to break off 80-yard runs or run around a whole lot. He made the throws that he needed to make, moved the chains on third down, and obviously they're able to run the ball really well week in and week out. So he did enough to win the game, and that sometimes that's all that you need. You're not going to go into every game with the shootout mentality. So they played the Ravens. You got to give them credit. And there's no, even though it is an early start, or early game, there's no excuse making here. The Chargers are just not. They're not where they need to be defensively right now. And there's a lot that goes into it. I think the injury bug is kind of biting the Chargers defense. They're short at linebacker. and the starting linebackers, Kenneth Murray, he injured his ankle. I think it was before the Raider game a couple weeks ago. Drew Tranquil got hurt last week. So you have your two best linebackers are out. Up front is it was already thin up front, but with those linebackers, you don't have your guys who are able to make plays in space. Who are able to make reads. Especially dealing with Lamar Jackson and that type of offense. You have guys, backup linebackers in, and it really didn't look. Things didn't look, well on defense. Especially in that area. But I think the Chargers are going to be fine. They go into the bye week next week, so they get a chance to kind of regroup a little bit. I think it comes at the right time. Especially after a performance like this, bye week comes at the right time, and they're going to be able to regroup. And hopefully Brandon Staley and the coaching staff, they are able to come up with a new scheme, concoct a new scheme defensively, especially for these teams who are going to come out and run on the Chargers defense. That's the basis of everybody's game plan against the Chargers is coming in, is establishing the run right away, and then making your plays in the passing game off of the success that you have in the run. In order for the Chargers to take that next step, they got to stop the run. And until they do that, they're going to be in games where, it looked bad today. But even last week against the Browns, the offense had to put on the Superman cape and save everybody because the defense just kept giving up big run after big run after big run, giving up, long play action plays to tight ends and stuff like that. So they need to, they're going to have to develop a new scheme because what's going on right now is not working. They're in that 3-4 defense a lot of the time, and sometimes they come out in with another look. It's normally like a modified 4-3. It looks like they come out on some downs when Joey Bosa, when he normally has his hand in the dirt. So it looks like they're trying to change games, but there's something there schematically that's not working because especially with the bigger guys when they're in the game, there's something schematically that's not working. I really can't point to it. You would have to watch the tape and break it down and see what's going on. I don't know if it's because the defensive tackles can't play two gap football, but there's something there, and I really can't understand. I know Linval Joseph is a very, very good defensive tackle. He's been good his whole career, but even he's struggling right now against the run, and he's like 330 pounds, so he's a big guy. I don't know. I don't know. I would have to go back and try to find some film and watch what's going on. But there's something there schematically that's not right with the Chargers, especially stopping the run. So we'll see what they do to improve that, and that's something that they're going to have to improve. They're still in first place in the AFC West, but they're going to need to figure out a way to shore that run game up, and they got the time to do it with the bye week coming up now. So we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, that's all I got. Chargers got their asses handed to them today, but it's a long season. Still more time to get it right, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.